Hey guys, my name is Simpzy. How you all doing? Welcome back to some more Troy, A Total War Saga here today on the channel. We're back with episode 2 of my Paris Let's Play mini-series. So, here today we're going to be continuing to build our Trojan Empire and try and conquer as much of Asia Minor for the Trojans as we can. So, if you like the sound of that, feel free to leave the video a like, subscribe if you're new around here with notifications on, let me know in the comments feedback and suggestions, and feel free to leave a dislike. Gotta say a huge thank you to the Creative Assembly for sending me an early access copy and making this Let's Play possible. So huge thank you to them and their community team. So, in the last episode, we managed to throw out the Achaean sympathizers in and around Troy. We pushed down to the island of Lesbos, secured Helen, my wife, a holiday home, which is great. We've brought it down there as we have to with the unique faction mechanic for Paris. And yeah, we're just going to continue to try and conquer as best we can. We have 20 units in this army build now, 4 units of archers, 2 units of the exceptional warriors we've recruited, being the Amazonian women. Hopefully, we'll be able to unlock more as we push further to the Asia Minor border. And yeah, because it only goes to the mountain range in Troy. So please do take into consideration as well that there are some restrictions on this mini Let's Play by CA. Only can do 90 minutes of content and a maximum of 3 videos. So I'm trying to condense 4 to 6 hours of a 40-turn campaign and as many battles as I can. So if the battle sort of slows down, it turns into a bit of a grind, I will have to speed things up and skip here and there. So if it's a little bit chunky and choppy in the editing, please take that into consideration. Also, the difficulty is locked on normal. So campaign-wise, we should have a pretty easy time around. Battle-wise, have been interesting, to say the least. So we'll push up here as we go further into conquering Asia Minor for Troy. As the eastern part of the map is incredibly rich in resources and I think like even population as well. They could very well have larger pop cities. So we're still trying to vie for the heirship between myself and my brother Hector to become my father, Priam's heir, and get those unique buffs as it goes with it. The more we conquer, the more missions we complete, the more gods we favour towards. Well, my father's favour is going to grow, of course. But we can never forget, we can sort of never forgive the Achaeans and what they did to Helen, I guess. So please, in the description below, guys, go and check out the Epic Game Store page so you know when Troy gets released in your time zone. I do have a lot of international subscribers and viewers. It comes out on the 13th of August, 14th if you're an Australian. But it's only available for free for the first 24 hours, and I wouldn't want anyone to miss out and trying this free game out just yet. Also, if you do make purchases on the Epic Game Store, go and punch in, create a code, SimpzyTotalWar. Flick me a couple of bucks. It massively helps out the channel and supports it. So I'd really much appreciate it, but it's not necessary, it's whatever. You guys are going to do whatever you want anyway. So, we're currently sieging out here. It's an interesting siege because the city is down on a slope. So, I don't know if they're sort of overly exposed to, well, Bronze Age flooding. They're definitely exposed to Bronze Age missile fire here. They've split up into 3 groups. And Paris, with his ranged and archer supremacy, is raining fire and death upon its inhabitants. We haven't had a siege with Paris just yet, but we have with Menelaus in the previous series. Go check that out after we finish this one. I've still got one more video to come, 40 turns of this series, and we're basically just trying to rush, build up and conquer and build. I want to see how much of a kingdom and Trojan Empire we can build up within 40 turns, and then once the Achaeans and Menelaus and Paris and Odysseus and whatnot sail over, we'll throw them back into the sea from whence they came and have a good old Trojan beach battle. But potentially win it this time around. Aeneas and my brother Hector are building up their kingdoms as well. I'm sort of racing against them. Definitely more so against my brother Hector. So at the moment we're still managing to reduce the infantry inside. The more the better, and then we can send in our lighter units. We've only got 3 units of axemen, mostly made up of spears and clubs that will eventually go down and push in.
Your warriors are losing heart.
My archers are now bronze to silver chevrons, as we've played a lot more battles than in this Menelaus campaign, because there's a lot more natural enemies around us. Yeah, I don't know if making Paris hard starting
no more ammunition.
difficulty just yet. Is that worth it? Look, you do get some -6 or so public order debuffs if you don't move Helen around as you conquer, as long as you got the grain, the 500 grain, to move her and let her host her frivolous parties, I guess, and festivals and stuff. But yeah, especially on normal, for now not so much, and especially how strong skirmishers are in Troy in this current build. Yeah, please do take into consideration as well, it's always in the top left, development in progress. So everything is subject to change, of course. So we've managed to skirmish out and eliminate most of the garrison inside, and now their 2 generals are probably going to try and go headstrong to Paris. My skirmishers have run out of ammunition with my archers and my Amazonian warrior women. So we'll push in, we'll try and initiate the countdown, and Paris is engaging in hand-to-hand combat with one of the enemy generals. He's drawn his long sword, still has his bow equipped though. And now there's a duel going on, surrounded by fellow Trojans.
Are losing heart.
There still seems to be some limited ammunition left in our archer reserves, but it looks like this battle is inevitable. And this was another town siege. Well, it's not town. It's like it's a town battle with the settlement in the background. Sometimes you can fight it at the forefront. Sometimes you can find it back towards the inhabitants of the town, rather than having loads of Bronze Age sieges. I only had 1 out of like 5 in the Menelaus, and I haven't had any just yet. But Paris in this battle only lost 100, and we've managed to have our first piece of territory just off the island of Lesbos. There was 2.2k in there. Look at this. Amazonian warriors got 270 to 200, and my proper archers got somewhere up to 500, which is really good. Really cost-effective archers in Troy Total War, especially with Paris and his god and archer buff. So we're going to continue to push further north into Aegea and yeah, conquer more territory for Troy. Okay, so we've got 2 provinces here now. It does look like that region capital is going to be a siege. So we'll continue to push against Tira further in the east, securing the bronze and then the region capital. So we've got 20 with units with Helen, 20 units with Paris now, and we are currently highest in the Prim Air chart because we're just conquering a lot more territory, following the god path as well. So we've got another battle here. Let's auto-resolve this one out, and then we'll siege out the region capital. Paris is now ranked level 5. We will loot and occupy, of course, to get those resource buffs. But at the moment, compared to the Menelaus series, we were a little bit hamstrung on grain along with bronze deposits. So in hindsight, we were better off conquering, even though he had a lot more military alliance buffs. Paris comfortably is fielding a full stack, and has 8,000 grain in the bank and a slow assortment of stone, gold, and bronze trickling in. So we've built up some siege equipment here to finish off the last of our enemy here, the Battle of La Renos. It's a 3D settlement for the most part, except for one, well, it's like a 360 settlement for the most part. There's a lot of vectors of attack we can push up. We've got some battering rams, and of course in Troy, all of our warriors are equipped with ladders, so they can go up and over the wall. It's currently raining, which isn't good. We'll wait again. Oh, it looks like we're going to have to fight this one in the rain. No matter, it does look like they've actually changed up the rain particle effects. So here's the first siege as Paris. Here is a Trojan Siege. So you can slightly see that the settlement detail is different. It looks like it's more of a sandstone finish on the city walls compared to the stone towards the last siege I played was in Knossos. We can't actually attack from that side. There seems to be a lake further in the back. I don't know if that guy's fire was particularly going to go out. Some seagulls or birds or doves or something hovering up and over. So we'll divide our army up into a couple of ways of attack. We have 2 units of battering rams. The medium axes can take that up as they have the highest melee sort of defense. I'm trying to see what's the weakest way. So I do love in Troy that they do use the natural topography of ancient Greece encompassing with the wall. There's a lot of just like walls surrounded by sheer cliff faces. So we'll try and push up where there's less arrow towers angled towards us. My archers are going to be able to arc their shots cool, calm, and comfortably up and over the walls. They can drag their arrow towers away from my infantry as they charge, because even though we've got some heavies, we're still relying on very light units. And look, this army's more designed for open field battles or very limited town battles. So we'll try and divide our army where we can, spread out probably this side, so on the sort of far left and right flank, while the majority of my army sort of pushes up on the front face, because there seems to be a lot less arrow towers further on this side. So I'm curious to see how Paris performs in his first siege. We'll send up the battering rams, and we'll send up our archers along with our Amazonian skirmishers. We'll try and get them to go up over the walls as well. So pick your target. We do outnumber them quite significantly numerically, so we should be able to claim the walls with impunity. Essentially unharassed on a couple of points. Then we can get rid of those arrow towers. The quicker the better, because they are still incredibly potent compared to other Total Wars. I like to call them machine gun nests normally, because they just absolutely rip-roar you. But I understand. I imagine they would. The defender's always favoured in Total War games, just because the amount of arrow fire they can inflict. So the best thing up, we can sort of trade and screen with our skirmishers while allowing our weaker sword units to push up. So our archers have already started to arc their shots up and over and rain fire and death upon the enemy, reducing their hit points, getting that armor damage, armor piercing damage in. The battering ram is slowly but surely pushing up. The battering ram model is the same as for the Achaeans, which is interesting. I thought it might have been different, but nope, it's not. That's alright. Alright, let's push up there, and I can go there. But yeah, I'm excited for Troy. I'm interested to see how it is once I get the full game on release. I will be doing 2 Let's Plays on launch. I'm going to hold a vote. I'll let you guys know when that is. That's going to be on the community... What's going on here? Page of the channel. Oh, the... Okay, Okay, we've got Spider-Man Trojans here, but it's okay. I'm pretty sure this is a bug that they've notified. There was a bug in the Menelaus video. that one of the models wasn't correct, so I'm sure they're on top of that. But I might have to let them know about that one. I think I might have read somewhere that was a bug. Yeah, so please do take into consideration that in the top left, as always, development in progress. Still in early access, so it's subject to change, of course. But I'll do 2 full campaigns, and then if I'm enjoying it, I'll do more. If not, we'll move on to something else. There's still plenty of fantastic other Total War content there. Very much like Thrones of Britannia. I enjoyed it on release. I played it. I'm just like, this is sort of the best analogy I can sort of think of. I played a Wessex, a Guthrum, Scottish campaign. I even played a fair few mods as well as a really cool Roman mod for custom battles in the Last Kingdom. But compared to other, like even like 12-12 AD and other series, it was just the content. They didn't support it later, which I think there would have been a bigger base if they did, but I understand why. But yeah, there's still 8 factions to play, so if I'll enjoy it, I'll do more. If not, no worries, we'll move on to something else. Okay, so let's move up here. We're continuing to fight and battle them on the walls.
The enemy gates have been destroyed.
But so far in this first 40 turns, I'm enjoying it. But I haven't had access to the full game, so I don't know when you play like 150 turns what it's like. But it's gonna take you a while. Like if you wanted to conquer all of, let's say, like mainland Greece, there's probably 80 regions there. So I wonder, like in a full campaign, will you get drawn into like the conflict? Like, is there events and stuff that like, yeah, you need to go take Troy around about the 80 turn mark or something, or will it be like a clash of empires, which would be quite cool? Because like, imagine if you were, I don't know, let's say Achilles, right, and you conquer all of mainland Greece, get rid of Menelaus, get rid of Agamemnon, and sort of get ready to navally invade Troy and Asia Minor. Like Aeneas has taken the whole thing. I wonder if that sort of stuff happens towards the mid to late campaign. We're doing quite well in this siege, a lot better than in the Menelaus siege. As archers seem to be doing incredibly well. I'm enjoying how potent and strong skirmishers are, and I assume they would be. They're great in Warhammer, and even in like Rome too, to some extent. But the armor-piercing properties, I think, is what's doing it. So even with the reduction in ammunition and whatnot, they still seem to be outperforming slingers. So maybe I should have invested in that Menelaus series. More archers than slingers. But Paris is in the thick of it now. We're just trying to finish off the last of the generals. Victory! We have victory here today in our first major siege. How many units did Paris lose? 1.6k, so it's quite a bit. We'll loot and occupy, and now we've taken the region capital right on the border. Now, is there any more territory, or are we right on the border here? Yeah, so it sort of stops towards the sort of Turkish mountain range here. So it's only this sort of front bit we have access to, sort of Pergamon and whatnot. Lover's duty. Daughter of Zeus bids Paris to take the ring in memory of their past love. Daughter of Zeus, aren't they sort of related? So I can accept the ring. Helen is disappointed. Plus 10 influence faction-wide, so that's essentially culture. Minus 1 turn of recovery, or refuse it, getting a bonus 3,000 experience for Paris. So I'm not even worried about influence. We seem to be converting this territory quite easily and quickly. We haven't had too much sort of political power disruption, but a 3,000 bonus for Paris. I'm more than happy to take it. Now, Helen's unfortunately getting upset. She is gloomy, but we need to move her further towards Paris's conquest. We're going to be going with a Hatacomb and religious stuff to Apollo as well, because my father Priam will like that. But at the moment, we are currently still in the lead for my father's kingship. I should be declared Priam's heir at this rate. Okay, we've got some more upgrades here for Paris. He's now rank level 10. So what have we got here? So depending on your play style and what you sort of want to buff up with Paris, you're most welcome to pause and have a look and go this out. But I like him to be quite mobile. I like him to give overall ranged units for us. But we've managed to conquer a decent amount of territory towards the north. We're going to be pushing north towards Adressia here now. We're going to be bordering with sort of my brother. It looks like potentially my cousin Aeneas is sort of getting towards this sort of sphere of influence. So we'll push further north here, and we'll try and take another city. The more the merrier, the quicker we can, the better. The bigger army, the bigger empire and economy we can build up, the easier we can defend Troy. And there's also like an advantage for being aggressive and being tenacious and trying to conquer as much territory as possible, because we want to get those bonuses away from my brother, of course. Hephaestion's golden armor. Okay, so obviously as well as you go around and conquer, you get certain talismans and upgrades for specific heroes. And Paris has gone up again here as well. Okay, I think it's time to build another army. At the moment, yeah, so Warlord. That was the other third one that I couldn't remember. So we got Fighter, Archer, Defender, and Warlord. Well, seeing as we sort of already get faction-wide buffs being Archer, I think it's probably... Well, we could go Fighter, because then we can throw him in. Or maybe we should go Archer. I think we'll just go with Fighter. Maybe to mix it up a bit, because we can actually throw him in. Back at Troyas itself, we're going to be able to probably even upgrade Paris's army. Normally I would replenish and repair and sort of phase out those units towards the front, but we're in turn 15. We're already nearly halfway through the build that we have access to, so we'll try and build up where we can. So it looks like an enemy host has tried to intercept us here, and I wanted to fight them on the field there, just an open field battle for my own curiosity. So they've now fled back. Oh, this is probably a minis. Yeah, maybe we should fight this one on the grassland, because normally we're fighting in and around settlements itself. So let's fight this one on the grasslands. They've pushed further towards back in the forest as well. So let's fight this one. So my archers are still slowly but surely going up in stats. My infantry as well is slowly accumulating bronze chevrons, which is great to see. We're only coming up against 3 units of spears, 2 clubs, 3 skirmishers. Oh, they actually have some Centaur warriors in there mixed as well. So maybe if we push further towards the border and take their last settlement, we might be able to get access to cavalry units. Because we've got 15 turns in, we haven't had a sort of opportunity to face them. So I'm curious to see what they look like and how heavily armoured they are. So they've taken a high ground position here in the forest, but they do have cavalry supremacy, so hopefully they don't wrap around too much for us. So there's a couple of ways to approach. We are attacking them at the end of the day, so we're going to have to push up. As I go towards the forest, it's going to negate a lot of my arrow fire and reduce combat effectiveness, which we've got to watch out for. But we've got our own exceptional warriors here, the Amazonians. And of course, Paris's famed archer troop, you could say. Because in some battles, they've been getting like, what, 500 kills? They've been doing tremendously well. Right, let's push up this infantry where we can, which will eventually phase out, maybe towards the next episode, because we've been conquering land so much. But here are the Centaur Scouts, incredibly light armoured horsemen. We've seen archer, skirmisher variants, and previous builds and stuff. So maybe once we get access to the Centaur unit pool, once we upgrade it, we can get access to heavier units. Maybe even think chariots it's its own thing as well. We could hopefully eventually get
Your
to.
warriors have spotted
So
hidden
we don't
foes.
particularly want to be drawn too much in the forest, but it's just the way we're going to have to wrap around. We might just have to do it. So we've deployed half my army on the top of the hillside, while the rest is aiming towards the bottom. My archers are raining fire and death upon their Centaur Scouts. The quicker we can eliminate them, the better. They're very lightly armoured, but the last thing we want is hammer and anvil tactics and their cavalry to wrap around and disperse my archers from firing, for that is where Paris' strengths come in this army build. So we're fighting in the thick forest here. Not so much is going on around this right side, and we'll try and wrap around where we can. But a lot of thick fighting is happening in the forest. My archers unable to help and gain us missile supremacy here. But fortunately we phase out those centaurs so they're not wreaking havoc. But their swords and clubs are fighting our axemen on the far left. So we've got another army being built as well. We should have that for the next episode. And how many settlements have we conquered now? Probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Probably 8 or 9 or so. So we're not doing too bad so far, especially comparing to my brother Hector. He's sleeping on the job. I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, so what I've sort of... Just looking at the pool I've used in battles, because I've played a lot now, probably nearly 20 or so. A lot of the open field battles are quite interesting because they have a lot of choke points. So, especially if you ambush stuff and whatnot, you can hold units in peculiar areas and definitely funnel them. That's one of the major notices I have seen. Just the topography of the battlefields. There's a lot more funneling and flanking units around rocks and stuff can be difficult at times. But now I've moved my archers into a better position. I don't know how well they're doing fighting in the thick of it. We are using I can't remember now. It's not ultra unit scale.
Are losing heart.
It's the largest one that they've got. Humongous? I don't know. I can't think of it now.
Foe has sighted your hidden
I just want to get this
units.
battle wrapped up. So Apollo's rain will drop,
Your warriors
and all
are
that
rallying.
remains is the enemy general. But once again, our archers have very much carried this army build. 500 lost, mostly infantry. We've knocked out 1,000 of theirs in a open field battle. Although the terrain didn't favour us too much. Decisive victory. Oh, we lost 1 unit of axemen. Really? They got caught? Oh, that's a shame. We'll take on the warriors. I don't know if we get any of them if we take them on. I'm just sort of thinking of the artillery sort of cheese that you can get in previous Total Wars. But 7 units are coming up here. Paris can go for the capital. And we're going to be bordering with the Amazonians, which is cool. We'll auto-resolve this one out, as we've fought the main 10-unit defense further at the back, and we'll loot and occupy. We should get access now to exceptional warriors. Yeah, so we get access to more of them here. We can get centaurs in our unit build, which is cool. We'll try and repair them where we can. We've also got some more heavier spears coming up and more archers. I could have phased them out and replenished and repaired a little bit earlier on, but I just wanted to keep on pushing, keep on conquering as much territory as I could. So guys, unfortunately it's time to end episode 2 of the Total War Troy Paris mini campaign. We're 21 into the episode, so stay tuned for episode 3 coming out soon, where I finish off the last 40. So we'll be able to evaluate, look at how much we've built up, and also when the Achaeans come, throw them back from whence they came. Throw back Menelaus, throw back Achilles, of course. So stay tuned for that. Support the video if you haven't already. Really helps out the channel and videos on the YouTube algorithm. Leave the video a like. Subscribe if you're new around here with notifications on. Let me know feedback and suggestions, of course. Huge thank you to the Creative Assembly for sending me a early access copy of Troy and making this Let's Play possible. So a huge thank you to them and to their community team. But above all, guys, make sure to take care of yourselves. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Make sure to take care of yourselves. Much love from Australia. My name has been Simpzy. Goodbye. Bye-bye.